What's up, YouTubers? Today I am in Shelf. Now, as we do these vlogs, we come across some interesting places and interesting personalities. Now today I am in the Calderdale area and we've come across a personality, a Yorkshireman that broke the bank of Monte Carlo. No doubt you have probably heard of this man, but today we've got Matt Parker, who's going to collab with us, and then we've got Riaz, of course, and he'll give us a bit more information about this man who brought the bank at Monte Carlo. What happened in Shelf? What's so important about Shelf?
Okay, so we're at Hilltop, which is just above Cockhill in Shelf. And this is the birthplace of the man we've come to talk about today.
And it's Joseph Jagger.
Yes, Joseph Jagger was born in 1830. I have a picture of him here. And he is very famous, not just in these parts, around the world. He's the first man that broke the bank of Monte Carlo.
Right, and he's a Yorkshireman.
Absolutely.
And of course, in our own style, we shall follow his footsteps, go to the places where he's worked, or possibly if we can find where he used to live, and pay some respects at his grave towards the end of the video. Right, we've just landed in Bradford, in the heart of Girlington.
Yeah, we're at Girlington Road, and this street is where Joseph Hobson Jagger used to live. Now we don't know whereabouts on Girlington Road it was. It could have been up the road, and it's quite a long road. It goes all the way to the top. Okay, or it could have been down towards the bottom end of Girlington Road, which is where Morrison's is.
Down there.
Yeah.
It's quite a busy area.
It is. Yeah, it is a very busy area, and it's a shame we don't know the exact location of where he used to live.
Right.
I presume it was probably around about 1850, 1860. But next stop we're going to is actually the location where Jagger worked. So now we're at one of the mills that Jagger worked at in his career. Was an engineer, and in 1871 Jagger decided to try and set up his own business, a textile business. Unfortunately it failed quite miserably, and he was staring bankruptcy in the face. So he had to borrow some money, and with that money what he decided to do was to go to Monte Carlo in the south of France, because whilst he'd worked inside the mill, he'd noticed that things like the spinning tables were never quite 100% level, that they had a bias, that they might suddenly fall on one certain way, and he thought the same might happen with a roulette wheel. So he went with this borrowed money down to Monte Carlo, and he watched for about a month to try and see if he could figure out where the numbers would fall. And after a month, that's when he started to place his bets.
Right, Matt, we're still in Bradford.
Yeah. So we're in Little Horton, and this is Grieve Street, and this was essentially number 25 is where our friend Jagger passed away at the age of 61 in 1892. It's one of many houses that he had bought in this area, because after his winnings, as we said earlier, he bought many houses in Little Horton specifically for his family and friends to live in. We're not sure specifically which houses they are, but at least we can say with certainty that this was where Jagger was at the end.
Number 25, yeah?
Number 25. Okay, so now we're at Bethel Chapel, where our story continues in a few minutes. But before that, what actually happened down in Monte Carlo? Well, Jagger had obviously figured out what was happening with the roulette wheels and which numbers came up more than others. So he started to place these bets, and over a space of, we think, about 8 days, he won £80,000 or 2 million francs, which in today's money is roughly about 7.5 million. Very quickly, if you're not sure what breaking the bank actually means, it's when the money that you win goes above what is on the winnings for that roulette table, which at that point in time was apparently 10,000 francs. So when that money was won, that's what's called breaking the bank, and they would actually put a black cloth over the table to show that it was broken. So I guess he did that for 8 days in a row. So yeah, it's a pretty hefty amount of money to win. And what he did with that money, he came back to Bradford and ended up buying a good number of properties in Little Horton for his relatives and his friends, actually. Obviously he'd hit hard times at some point, and I think he was going to make sure that they didn't have that same problem.
We're at the Bethel Chapel in Shelf, and here in the grounds is a graveyard, and we are at the grave of Joseph Hobson Jagger, the man who broke the bank. Now this monument, inscribed on it, it says "Sacred in the memory of Hobson Joseph Jagger of Little Horton, Bradford, formerly of Shelf, born September the 2nd, 1830, died April the 25th, 1892. Also of Matilda, wife of the above named, born August 24th, 1830, died October the 16th, 1902. Lead kindly light. So it's quite a humble and very basic inscription, isn't it, on a headstone?
Definitely, yeah. I like the fact that as we've turned up here today, there is a 10p piece on there. Almost like Joseph is still claiming his money somehow. You might notice that around the edge of the grave we have these metal railings, which obviously in a bit of a state at the moment. I believe that in his will Jagger left £20 for the grave to be kept up to date, and certainly the metal to be painted. But I believe that's only been done twice, so maybe it's something to look at for the future.
So that's a quick story of Joseph Jagger, and a bit about his background, where he worked, and obviously we showed you his resting place. So to conclude our little story, I'm going to catch up with Imtiaz and Matt again. Now then, where shall we leave off with this?
Well, Imtiaz, when I say to you the man who broke the bank at Monte Carlo, what's the first thing that comes into your head?
A song that I heard many years ago.
A song from here. It's actually a music hall song. Surprising though, it's not actually about Joseph Jagger, despite the fact he did it first. It's about a guy called Charles Wells who did it in 1891. But he was a big confidence trickster, he'd been in and out of jail, and when he won the money it was a massive story, whereas the Jagger one was of course quite a small one. I think I think I need to sing the song to you, MT,
Right.
as
Thank
we
you very
wander
much.
off.
I'd love to hear it.
As we walk along the boob along
I won't do that.
independent air, you can hear the
That's
girls
right, yeah.
declare.
Yeah, no, the arm and arm thing I won't do.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
There you go. I know we're always
He's
looking.
the man who broke the bank at Monte Carlo.
I know most of our videos are always looking grim, but we do have a sense of humour. But again, thanks for following us, subscribing, liking and sharing. Till next time, peace out.